Now I'm actually outside on this beautiful sunny day here in July. Happy summer all, because what I'm going to be talking about today are the novelty sizes of Zippo lighters. Now obviously they're not Zippo lighters, they're just really big oil lighters, but you know, it's kind of one of those things that misnomers, I guess you might want to call them. It's one of those things where it's a product that is referred to by its formal product name when it's in fact a generic product. Color lover Jeff happened to mention this in one of his older videos. It happens to be any flip-top lighter like this is a Zippo, any cotton swab is a Q-tip, any tissue is a Kleenex, things like that. Any bandage is a Band-Aid. It's just become common knowledge. And then you'll get some people that have to be dicks about it and say things like, "Well, man, do you know that that's not a Kleenex, that's a tissue? And did you know that I can probably stick a spike up your..." Never mind, let's move away from things like that. What we're going to be talking about today are the novelty Zippo sizes, because I have all the sizes now. Well, I have all the bigger sizes. The smaller sizes have never really interested me. I like the bigger ones because they're kind of a joke, and it's kind of ridiculous to see not only lighters like this, but to in fact see that they have the ability to be lit. And that is why we're outside today. Because a lot of people ask me, why don't you light the big lighter? Well, I've actually lit the big lighter. I have two today. I've actually lit the big lighter. It's not interesting because the wick is actually normal size and it's in a bunch of smaller chimneys in there. But I do happen to have another big lighter here, and we'll talk about that, and that's going to be the one that we light today. And because it requires so much fuel to get it started, we are outside because it's going to be something between a fizzle and a nuclear reaction. So let's get started. First of all, we know the regular Zippo size. I happen to have my solid brass Zippo here, adorned with the initials of Gregory Jeffrey Doofenhusen. You'll remember him from the Zippo lot, which is actually where I got one of these large Zippos. So, but everybody knows the normal size here. We'll just put that there because we are going to be using it for size comparison. And we're going to move on to our first novelty size. We're going to be getting bigger in size. We're not going to start with the biggest right off. Next biggest one, which happens to be the most recent one that I actually got, is this. This is one that almost could be passed off as a normal size lighter if, I don't know, you were drunk or something. Here it is, the mid-size, shall we say. Ah, yes, it looks like an ace. And this one happens to be made by Victor. Okay, this is the mid-size one that you'll see. This was also the most expensive of the bunch. This one lighter was 20 bucks. Not nearly worth 20 bucks. I bought it simply as a service to you guys to show you the different sizes and where you might be able to get them. Let me talk about where you might be able to get them here real quick. eBay, first of all, that's where I got two of them. Another place is truck stops. If you have any truck stops around you, you know, that have a restaurant and a hotel, they often have novelty things like this. Another place is any sort of smoke shop. They also sell novelty things. Another good place is a fair. Fair sometimes, if you have like a fair that has tents set up, and a place that sells beaded items and incense and stuff like that, you may also have a place that sells these novelty lighters. That's another place to look. All of those places if you're interested in this. You might get lucky and find them, you might not. It took me the longest time to find this medium-sized one. I actually found two of the large ones before I found the medium-sized one. Now, why doesn't this equate to $20 worth? Well, this lighter is extremely light. In fact, it almost weighs the same, if not a little bit less, than the actual genuine Zippo. Now, I'm not sure if it's made of brass. In fact, it's not. It's probably made out of a cheap aluminum, or hell, I'd even wager some sort of flame-resistant plastic. I don't even know if that's possible, but it's usually when you hit two metal things together, it makes a bit more tinny sound than that. So I can't comment on the exact make of it. It's not very well made. Again, this is by Victor here, no date stamp on the bottom, but it's not very well made, I'll tell you. The image here is just kind of like a thick sticker. I'm sure if I put enough pressure on, I could rip this off. And that's just the case. Let's see if it does a Zippo click. Nope, it sounds like somebody farted in their cornflakes. But here we go, we're going to take out the insert here. Oh, big pain in the ass to get out. And now you'll see a recurring theme with these novelty lighters here. You often get this little metal thing here, which I have no idea where they put that in there. That's your felt pad. But it's not your felt pad, because if you lift it up, they give you an actual right here you'll see it, felt pad. So I don't know if that's in there just to hold everything in or what. I have no idea. It's even got the little hole on the Zippos. You'll notice one of these holes if we take our genuine over here. This one doesn't have one, but on some of them you will see a hole that's in the do not lift, in the lift to fill felt pad. That some people think that's where you fill up the lighter fluid from. That is not where you fill up the lighter fluid from. The purpose of that little hole is to stick the nozzle of the fuel in there, the nozzle of your refueling fuel, this nozzle, in there, and actually lift the felt pad up and squeeze it under the felt pad. The reason you don't want to put it in the hole in the felt pad is because you can get a lot of stuff sucked up into the felt pad, which is thereby wasting it, because not a lot of fuel from that felt pad actually gets down into the cotton. And if you fill your Zippo up where it pours into the felt pad, you've overfilled it. But again, looking at the construction of this a bit more, probably should have brought a pad out here for my knees because I'm sitting on the nice concrete here, but anyway, it does have some writing on it. Let's read it here. Keep away from children, and they even made a blue O, so you know that that O is pretty serious. Lighter does not self-extinguish, as they say on the Zippos. Close lid to be extinguished. And that's funny. Of course, we get a little bit of English here. No, actually, hold on a second. I read this too fast. I gave him too much credit. I have my sunglasses on, a little hard for me to see here. And through the viewfinder, it says, closed lid to be extinguished. That's fantastic. What do I think of their job here? Fantastic of doing job, thank you now, and waffles. Okay, so we say they have some sort of English writing on here. What's it say on the back? Hopefully another gem on this one. It says, I'm actually going to pull this away from the viewfinder so I can read it here, see if they made another gem. Lift cotton to fill. Do not overfill. After filling, wipe lighter and hands before igniting. And, oh, you're not going to believe this last bit, as hard as this might be to believe. Made in China. I know that's probably a kicker for a lot of you. You weren't expecting that, but made in China, in fact. So yeah, the Victor lighter. Now, wasn't that crappy little Thunderbird insert I got also made by Victor? The Victor KGM, I think, might be the name. Well, we saw how that turned out. If you ever watched my Zippo collection video, it flew out and hit me in that video, if I remember correctly. But that is the medium-sized lighter. In fact, let's take a look here. If we look inside of the bottom of this medium-sized case, it in fact does look like plastic. It looks like plastic spray-painted silver. So I think it may in fact be plastic. Of course, the best material to make a fire-containing object out of. That's fantastic. So it looks like it is in fact plastic. Okay, this one's not going to be lit. It's unfired. Paid 20 bucks, which is about 20 bucks too much for this, but at least I got the medium size. Now, close this up and move on to the next one. Not even closing properly now. Oh my god, what did I break it? I may have actually broken it. Well, the lid's kind of being a little wonky now, but I'm not that concerned about it. I use it as a display piece. Much in the same way. Oh, let's do a size comparison here, because you know that is the whole point of this video. Size comparison. Bigger, not ridiculously big. You can see it's about the thickness of 2.5 of them. So moving on. Moving on now to the Circus Clown Big Lighters. These are the ones that are just way too big. Now, I actually thought that these were the same lighter, but they are in fact not. They are a different shape when I actually took them down to compare them. For the longest time, I thought that they were the exact same lighter, but they are not. And, stupid me, I didn't realize that one of them has a high polish finish and one of them has a brush finish. You know me, I'm always picking out the little details. Let's start with the one that I got first, which is this one right here. I got this for an entire 99 cents on eBay. Yeah, but it was one of those things where it was 99 cents and the shipping was $10. That's okay, I wanted one. I really wanted one of these big novelty lighters. Now, I thought this was the same size as the other big one, but in fact, it's less of an actual Zippo size here. You'll notice that the top is flat here. Considerably more flat than a rounded Zippo. It almost looks like a 1937 replica here, or an actual 1937 lighter. The 1937s don't have quite as square corners, or don't have quite as round corners as this. A little bit different in shape when I compare it to the other one of these big-ass novelty lighters that I have here. This one. As you can see, the top is definitely more rounded off on that one than this one over here. This one I got second, and in this bright sunny day, you can clearly see the difference that this is in fact high polish and this is brushed chrome. How I didn't notice that right off the bat, I do not know. Looking at the bottom of these two big mammoths here, this one just has a price sticker on it. No idea what the person originally paid for it. This one has made in Japan on the bottom. Not made in China. I guess we're one step up. We've moved to Japan. Now here's where we hit a bit of a snag. Everybody's like, oh, we gotta see these lighters, man. They're probably amazing. Let me show you the most amazing flame you're probably going to see today. Ta-da! Don't get your hopes up much beyond that, folks. The way that these suck, again, as I've mentioned, let's take this one here, move this one away, is if you open one of these big-ass lighters, you can see it's very dusty because it's been sitting on my shelf open for a while because it's a display piece. The way that they make these lame is, if you look at this, it looks like a big-ass lighter. You're expecting a flame like this big. However, when you look inside of here, you have a smaller chimney and a smaller chimney, and way down in there, you have a normal-sized wick, and not a Zippo wick. When I lit this, it burned up in about 5 seconds last time this was filled with fuel because it's a craptastic wick. Now, it looks like it's made out of copper, and actually that's interesting. You can see that copper-colored metal in there. Looks like it's made out of copper. It's definitely heavier, well, because it's bigger, but it's definitely a lot heavier than that mid-sized one that we saw. It's definitely a lot better made than the mid-sized one, even though they're both, you know, not great build quality. Zippo makes copper lighters. I'm sure somebody out there wants a copper Zippo. They're pretty cool. You can actually get them. They say copper on the bottom. 2003 was a popular year for getting those, I believe. But let's take a look. Well, we've already seen this one. Pretty much, I might as well go through the motions and show you the insert. Take it out, and there's that fantastic piece of metal again, with the felt pad, and then under there, the cotton, which is pretty much what we can expect to see from the brushed chrome one, but we'll go ahead and take a look at that anyway, because the brushed chrome one is the one we're going to light. I haven't seen the brushed chrome one lit yet, neither have you, but that's why we're outside, because I do not think that this is going to be spectacular, but if it is, it's probably going to be very spectacular. Now, it looks much the same, however, I mean, it does look, oh, there goes a motorcycle backfiring. It does look much the same. However, it doesn't have all these little chimneys. It just has a big ropey strand of a wick there. So I have no idea what this is going to do. But I say stop talking about it. I say light the damn thing, all right? All right, what is this one made out of, though? It also has that copper color to it. If you look in there, it's also got that copper color on it, so. Oh, by the way, if anybody's noticed in this video, I'm not wearing my Omega. I happen to be wearing my Luminox for the summer, for, you know, summer fun and activities. So if anybody anybody is wondering where my Omega is, it is on the watch winder. Opening up. What we have here, in fact, what you see down there, a little drop, is a sweat. I just sweat on the ground because it's a very hot day out. Now, like I said, I seem to be sweating a lot of these videos that I'm outside. It's very hot and humid lately. That's fantastic, isn't it? However, what we see here is the insert for that one. We're going to see the, oh my god, this doesn't have, I thought they all did. This doesn't have the piece of metal on the bottom, but it does have that felt pad. Open it up, and we see the cotton. This is the cotton that we're actually going to fill. What I'm actually going to do is jump cut this video very quickly, because I'm going to take that screw out before I fill up this lighter. BRB, folks. And I am back, and now you'll notice that there is a Bud Light sitting right here, and that really doesn't have anything to do with the video, but I noticed something. I just found this little Swiss Army knife Wenger in there in my house when I was going in to grab my Leatherman. This just happened to be closer, and it happens to be on the same side of the bottle opener. So we are going to enjoy this. 1 second. Wait for the belch on that one. Now, I said I'm going to fill this. What we need to do is take the screw off, otherwise I'm going to have to be holding this felt up the entire time when I'm filling it, so. I've never taken this screw out before. Long screw. There we are. We see the, wow, that's a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I wonder why that is. I wonder if it has an extraordinarily long flint, or it just has a pusher in there or something. I don't know. I'm not going to figure that out right now. I'm sure I'm going to have a million people asking for it, and I'll eventually have to take it down. But here's where things get a little dangerous. Now, this is where we're going to have to say Godspeed. Okay, we have all our parts right here. And we have the main ingredient. This is a fresh bottle that I'm going to blow for YouTube. I'm putting this whole bottle of Zippo Fluid in there because I think it's going to take all of it. Wish me luck, and let's get ready for Rocket Man here. In fact, if you don't know, these red caps come off the top of these Zippo bottles. I'm just going to stick, excuse me, there's that beer burp. I'm going to stick a flathead screwdriver onto the front of it and pop it off. Now, that's cool in case you want to reuse these containers some time. Alright, this is a full bottle of Zippo Fluid going in. Oh, spilled quite a bit there. Look at it soak into that cotton. Oh! Like a maxi pad, it's gone. Let it soak for a few seconds. Take a swig of beer. God damn, does that feel good on a hot day. It's about to get a little hotter with any luck. Though, in all honesty, I'm not sure it's going to. That might not actually even be enough to start this Zippo, but we will find out as a team here. Put the felt pad back on while I'm waiting. Flint screw. Just like a regular Zippo, put this back in. Come on. Not that drunk. There we are. Press it down and twist just like a regular Zippo. This is a long screw. It's the longest flint screw I've ever seen. Not that I've seen many long ones, but there it is. Well, I guess there's nothing to do but light. I'm going to give it a few more seconds to soak in. And, what song should we sing while we're waiting for that to soak down? I had a comment on one of my videos. Please stop singing. Please stop singing my REO video. So, while we're waiting, what are we going to sing? Come on, you gotta think of a nice song to let that fuel soak down there in. I woke up this morning and the sun was gone. Turn on some music to start my day. Lost myself in a familiar song. I closed my eyes and she slipped away. She slipped away. Okay, it's about done now. So, let me see if I smell. I don't smell fluid. That scares me. If I have to sacrifice 2 bottles of fluid for this, you two better thank me. Let's try it. Okay, here we go. Oh my. Not only did it not light, the little piece of flint in there came out. Jesus. Well, I've started and now I can't let down my fans. I'm going to go get another bottle of Zippo Fluid and I'm going to get another flint. I will repair this and be right back. Get ready for the biggest letdown of your life. Okay, I'm back. Let me tell you what happened. I went and I took this out and I dumped an entire another bottle of fuel in there. And I put a new flint in, but the flint somehow got jammed in there. I unscrewed that spring, and in there was in fact a very long lead spacer or some metal spacer under the spring, like the spacers you see on the Zippos. But I put a brand new flint in there, and now it's not sticking up through the flint tube, and I'm about 6 screwing around with this thing, so it's getting an alternating ignition source. However, the wick is wet now, so prepare to rock your socks. And action. And there it is! Fantastic! So you probably hear my AC going now. Man, this video has been a disaster. After all the trouble and the 2 bottles of fluid and the flint's not working and it being 500 degrees outside, the finish was disappointing and the camera shut off due to excessive heat. So that's why you didn't get to see much flame, but as you can see, the flame that you did see was not very impressive at all. Wow, what a waste of time. So there you have it. Those novelty lighters provide a novel amount of boredom. You don't light them, they're just for looks. Another thing they could be used for is a big lighter to show big parts. Like the Army used to have the big guns to show oversized parts. If you're going to talk about something, like you can show people what a cam is, you can show people what a the flint spring is, even though it's the same size. It's easier to see on a big lighter. As for a size comparison, I still do have them over there. I'm going to go get it, and I will compare that real quick. Hold on, I'll be back in a flash. Not a jump cut. Alright, so I'm back. Here's a size comparison. Here's the lighters. Yeah, comically oversized. In fact, here's an iPhone. The one that overheated because it was so hot outside today shooting this video. And here's a Logitech Harmony 1 remote control. But that's it. So that's the novelty lighters, the medium, large, and regular size. None of them are Zippos except, of course, the Zippo. And they're not very interesting. So enough with the big lighter requests, because it's a disappointment. I hate to tell you, it's a very big disappointment. And that's it. So go out and buy one if you want a novelty. Don't go out and buy one to light. Those 2 bottles that I put in this lighter are probably going to evaporate in 3 days. And that's about it. So thanks for watching. Take it easy.